has finally arrived. The cardigan I've been looking for. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Fuller Cardigan by Cashmerette, so keep watching. Welcome back. If we're just meeting, my name's Claire. On this channel I talk about plus size dressmaking. My aim is to help you feel more confident in the clothes that you're wearing. So if that sounds interesting to you, do hit the subscribe button down below, because I bring videos to you once to twice per week. So without further ado, let's get on with the Fuller Cardigan review. So if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I have been looking for the perfect cardigan for a long time. I absolutely love the aesthetic of Lisa Comfort's cardigans, but at £40 a pop, and the fact that they don't come in my size, it's not money that I want to fork out. But I have been looking for a pattern along those lines for a long time. There are a few that have come out, but they haven't been quite right for what I'm looking for. So when I saw that Cashmerette had launched this pattern, I was all over it immediately and I purchased it straight away. There's just nothing else like it on the market at the moment, and I think they were really savvy to bring something out like this. It is just a great pattern. So let's talk a little bit about the actual pattern. I'm going to put pictures here, so let me just move over to the side. So it comes in two views. You've got a mid-hip length view, which comes with a V-neck, or you've got a cropped version that comes in at the waist and is a high neck. And that is the version that I've made, although I did drop the neck a little bit. So this make is a great make for mid-weight knits, anything with a 15% or up stretch. So that leaves things wide open. In fact, this is a great pattern if you've got a remnant, especially if you want to make the cropped view, because I've made the cropped view and it took me just over 1 metre of fabric with 150 centimetre wide fabric. So it's a great remnant stash buster, especially if you wanted to colour block as well. It would be especially easy on the fabric requirements. I can't speak for the long view because I haven't made the long view. However, I've made two of the cropped view and they are really fantastic stash busters. This design is a Raglan Sleeve design, so I've got a seam going up there, which is great if you want to amend it for sleeve and shoulder issues. It comes with a dart. It comes with two darts, in fact, one in the sleeve and one in the side, and you don't normally get darts, but I will speak about that a bit further in a moment. It is faced as well. I don't know if you can see, I think you can. It comes with a facing, so traditionally you might have a neck and button band there, but there isn't one, it's just faced. And then you sew the facing down. The thing that is most noteworthy with this pattern, I think, is that it comes with two sleeve options. So you've got a standard sleeve and you've got a full bicep adjustment sleeve. So they've taken the work out of it for you to do the full bicep adjustment. So if you are daunted by full bicep adjustment, this pattern's great because it's got the pattern piece there for you. I did use the standard, which is a little bit surprising because every other pattern I seem to have to do a bicep adjustment, but for this one I did fit into the standard sleeve. So let's talk about measurements for a moment. It comes in a 12 to 32, so Cashmerette have recently increased their size range, which is fantastic. They were already very good going up to a size 28, but they now go up to a 32, and that's fantastic. They also come with cup sizes, so you've got a CD, an EF and a GH. So the actual size measurements for the largest cup in the largest size, the bust is 62. These are standard measurements, not finished measurements. It comes in with a waist at 52 and a hip of 62. So that's a nice range of sizes. So as mentioned earlier on, I made two of these. So this was my toile. I'll insert some footage of me wearing it now. I made it up in a size 20, a straight size 20, which is a little bit unusual for me. My waist and my hips are normally 2 sizes bigger than my bust, but given it was a close fitting garment, I just felt that I would be okay in a 20. My second one is this one. I'll insert some footage of this one now. And this was a 20 at the bust and a 22 at the waist, but they fit me much the same, to be honest. So let's talk a bit about the fabric. The fabric I used, you can use a fabric with 15% stretch. I didn't test my stretch, I just used what I had. This was a Ponte. It's supposedly a Ponte, but I think it's quite a light Ponte. Can you get Pontes that are light? I don't really know my fabrics too well. But if you can, do leave me a comment and let me know down below, because I'm always keen to learn. This was advertised as a Ponte on the Textile Centre. I got it a couple of weeks ago when I got the other fabrics. I showed you some of the other fabrics in my South Bank video, which I will link above there in case you haven't seen it yet. I actually started to use this fabric as a 12. At the point I was making my decision, I'd only seen the inside of the fabric and I thought it was the outside. I don't know if you can see there, but it just looks really polyester-y. That is a word, by the way. But what I didn't notice is the actual side, the right side, is so soft. So I ordered 2 meters of this and I still have the best part of a meter left. So I might make another one, but colour block the arms, potentially. We will see. Very, very easy to wear. It's very comfortable. It's very soft. For the second one, I used this fabric, which is also a black, it's a black Ponte with little like diamantes glued on it. You'll recognise this fabric from when I made my blusette dress by Love Notions. I will leave a link above. So I've had this fabric for about 3 years and it was one of my precious fabrics, and I ended up making the blusette and I had a meter left, and so luckily I had enough to make one of these, which is fantastic. I'm so pleased that I managed to get 2 garments out of this 3 meters of fabric that I had. So as always, I chose A0 to have that printed off, and then I traced off the version that I wanted, which was a cropped version as mentioned. I didn't have any problems with tracing off or even cutting out my fabric on both fabrics. It was such a quick and easy make, because you've got your front, your back pieces, your sleeve pieces, you've got 3 facing pieces, and your bottom band and your sleeve band as well. And that might seem like quite a few pieces, but it's actually not. Once you get in order in your head what goes where, actually you can like compartmentalise, or I can anyway. I can compartmentalise like what pieces I've got, and it doesn't actually seem like much. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's making any sense or not. So let's get on to the good stuff, the construction. It was a super quick and easy make, I have to say. No problems whatsoever there. You could easily make it in an afternoon. Once you've cut it out, you can just whiz it through your overlocker or your sewing machine and it'll be done in an afternoon. I know both of mine were. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this pattern does come with darts. It's got a side dart just there, which I didn't amend, and that came in at the exact right place where it should have. And also a dart at the top of the sleeve there. Now, you wouldn't traditionally see darts in a knit fabric. However, on Cashmerette's YouTube channel, they were talking about this, and they were saying that it can be quite difficult to fit a raglan sleeve on a larger person, and the way they got around that was by putting darts in. So if darts work, don't they? So I've got a little bit of footage that I will send you over to now. So something I've noticed in this pattern is that she has darts. I've just pinned them here so you can see that there is a side dart there, and also in the sleeve head. Well, it's not a head because it's a raglan, but at the top of the sleeve she's got a dart there. She was explaining that in a raglan it is difficult to get a good fit with larger sizes, so she managed to achieve that by adding darts in, and normally you wouldn't see a dart in a knit project, but there you go. We'll see how it works out. But she says to sew that with a straight stitch, a 2.5 length. So that's what we're going to do now. As mentioned, they also come with facings, which you can see there. I've got some footage about the facing pieces, so we'll head over to that, and then when we come back I'll talk a little bit more about that. So I'm just putting the facing together, and I had a little bit of trouble visualising how it goes together. So what I did was I put the main centre back piece together first, and then the two shoulder facing pieces. Then I worried about this big piece here. See, the instructions don't explain very well how you attach the two pieces, but this is how you attach it. So you've got your shoulder piece along there, and then you've got your front facing piece going perpendicular. And then before you pin, just fold it over to check it looks right, and that will avoid any unpicking, and then you can just serge that seam. So I hope you found that useful. So when I was following the instructions, I did as it told me with the toile. Don't know if you can see, but I've got stitch line there. So I basically measured 3/4 of an inch in from the edge, and then did a top stitch all the way down, all the way round the neck, round the other side, and down as it instructed me. But I felt it warped the fabric a little bit round the neckline. I think you can see it there a bit better. Yeah, you can see it there. Now I have ironed that. I have ironed that to the best of my ability, and it's still there a little bit. So at the last minute with the second one, I decided the fabric's so lovely that I didn't want it to warp. I hand stitched the facing down, so all the way down there, up to the corner, and all the way round and down again. Took a little time, but it was totally worth it. And obviously, because I used black thread on a black garment, you can't see where it's been stitched at all. So I was really pleased with the second facing, much more so than the first facing. But the only thing is, when you do that, it takes away from the traditional look, because you have a row of top stitching and you would have buttons there. But I haven't put buttons on either of mine. I have debated it, and I might still put snaps on. But to be honest, I don't know that I would wear them done up anyway, so I don't really see much point in putting buttons on. I'm much better to save buttons for a project that I will use them for. So sewing a raglan is really super easy. I have just got a little tip for you regarding that, so I head over there now. So I've sewn the sleeve to the front and the back, and now I need to sew the side seam. So I've pinned it here all the way down, as you can see. Now the instructions say to sew from the hem upwards to the sleeve, but I've never ever done that. I've always sewn down, and I personally feel it's better because you've got your dart going downwards and it'll go through the serger smoothly. Another change I made, which I mentioned briefly at the beginning, was that I lowered the neckline. I didn't want the neckline to come right up here, although in hindsight maybe that would have looked better. But I graded the neckline round to the smallest size, which is smaller the size, the lower the neckband. So I just graded it round to the smaller size, which you can tell. but I didn't mind that. I didn't want it too close up here. If you're going to do that, just make sure that you amend the facing pieces as well, because otherwise your facing won't fit into your main piece. So other features are that it has a bands on the sleeve. That's a nice look. I don't think it's really necessary to have a band there, especially because I just want it to sit on my elbow. I think I could have just done a bias facing and stitched it down underneath. But I don't know. Which do you think looks better? I think that looks quite good too. But I did do those bands on both pieces. On my black one, I did the bands with the wrong side facing, and that is just because I didn't want a pattern match. That, and I just think it gives a nice little bit of contrast. So it's got a bottom band, and I've done the same with the bottom band. Also the facing as well. So let's go over some of my final thoughts. I think this is a great staple pattern. This is a pattern that you can make over and over again in lots of different fabrics. You can use remnants, you can colour block. The options are endless. You could basically make one to go with every dress that you made, and that might be an option. It's very good to make. The instructions were good. There was a part, as I explained earlier in some footage, where there wasn't a full image that helped me explain the facing pieces. Apart from that, the instructions were really good. I do just wish that pattern companies wouldn't put, for version A, do this, for version B, do this, for all views, do this. I find that a little bit confusing. I really wish they would say, here's the instructions for view A, here's the instructions for view B. That would be much more straightforward. But that's not just a thing of Cashmerette. There's lots of patterns that do that. So I'm not overly happy about having a facing. I would rather have a neck and a button band, but that's just me being a bit of a traditionalist. On a plus size, it does give a really clean, neat edge, and the facing is sewed down, so there's no chance of it coming out like it does on some dresses. Maybe I'll put buttons on. Do you think I should put buttons on it or not? I'm not sure I can see the need. Maybe I'll put snaps on. I've got lots of different colour cam snaps that I could put on there, but would that make it look a bit cheap? I don't know. This is just a 12 one, and I do have my black one as well. So are you going to make this pattern? I know a few of you have commented to me that you are keen to make it. Would you like me to do a sew along? If you want to make it but you're a little bit nervous, perhaps a sew along would help you. Do leave me a comment down below and let me know if that is the case. If enough of you want it, then I'm happy to do that for you. It's such a quick and easy make that it wouldn't take too long to do that. So if you like this content and you found it helpful, do leave me a like down below. Leave me a comment as well. I love receiving comments from you guys. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because I like to bring lots of reviews to you just like this one. Share the video out if there's anyone that you feel would benefit from it. I'm more than happy for you to share it out. If you'd like to go further in support of my channel, I do have a Ko-fi account, and that's at ko-fi/penguinandpear. So until next time, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the time and effort you've put into watching my channel. Until next time, happy sewing. Bye for now.